Three farm laws, when the announcement was made that they will be repealed, among other reactions that came in was the reaction of a member of a panel appointed by the Supreme Court to look into these laws. Mr. Anil Ghanwat is a member, now joins us, and he has had some sharp views. Mr. Ghanwat, thank you very much for speaking to NDTV. My first question, what's your view on the laws being repealed? If you could place it on record.
The demand for MSP is for 23 crops today. But when these 23 crops are given guarantee for MSP, then we, the farmers of Maharashtra who grow onion, who grow potato, who grow chilies, tomatoes, they will also demand MSP, and this is their right, because you can't differentiate between farmers producing wheat and rice or even pulses or oil seeds. These are also farmers. They are toiling in their fields, and they are also entitled to get the same treatment as other farmers are getting who are producing pulses or oil seeds or even sugarcane and wheat and rice. So this is discrimination, and demands will come up that our products should also be not only these products, the products which come under dairy and poultry and fishery, they will ask a minimum price guarantee for their eggs and chicken and fish and milk, everything that is produced in India. All those farmers will start demanding MSP legal guarantee. And if legal guarantee is given and the prices in the market drop below MSP, there won't be anyone in the market to purchase their produce, because there is a law now, and the law will say that if anybody purchases the farm produce below MSP, they will be put in jail or they will be penalized. So no one will dare to buy it, and farmer won't have anybody to purchase their produce. So this is going to hurt the farmers. This is going to hurt the other stakeholders like traders, exporters, millers, ginners. Everybody is going to come in a funky position. And so a legal MSP is not going to help the farmer. Legal MSP is not going to help the other stakeholders related to agriculture. The financial burden will be so heavy that government will have to take loan from other countries to
lead the country to bankruptcy.
It will have to take a loan from other countries to just manage the payment of MSP crops. Maybe the private sector will buy some, but till the markets are above MSP. As soon as the markets go below MSP, they will pull out, they won't purchase, and the farmers will be in a very drastic position as to what to do with the produce.
Now, Mr. Ghanwat,
they are having in their fields or in their homes.
Mr. Ghanwat, you have given us a number of reasons and variables because of which the country will be driven to bankruptcy if the farmers continue with their demand of MSP guarantee. But you know, the point is, politically, MSP guarantee has been promised by anyone and everyone when they were in opposition. Even the Prime Minister suggested the same when he was the Gujarat Chief Minister. You think electoral assurances
Certainly
as far
not.
as the agriculture
They
sector...
are all Chunavi Jumlas.
You call them Chunavi Jumlas.
15 lakhs
so they're not practical and pragmatic.
MSP plus 50%. These are all the promises given before elections just to win elections. They can't be carried out, and no government has ever done what they have said in the manifesto. For example, Congress in their manifesto say that we will do away with APMCs. Is there written document? And now when Modi has done that reform to liberalize the APMC, give some freedom to farmers and give them the freedom to sell out of the market, Congress is opposing it. So all the political parties are just working for the elections. When Congress had brought such a type of reforms, that time BJP opposed them. And now BJP has brought in the reforms, Congress is opposing it. All these parties just want to do their Rajniti. They don't have anything to do with the farmers or the country. They don't care for it. They just want to be elected again and again, and nothing can come out of such type of mindset from the politicians. So farmers have to think very seriously about this. I request the farmers sitting on the border, the farmer leaders, to talk with the government, with all cards open. Even we can join them, and we can draft a policy which should be put in on the table in the parliament. There should be open discussion, and whatever comes out should be treated as the agriculture policy. Our agrarian country like India doesn't have an agriculture policy. Do we have one? We don't have an agriculture policy. The decisions are taken whenever the situation changes. We don't have any long-term policy, so no investment is coming in India. Those corporate sector is not ready to invest in farm sector. We don't have proper godowns. We don't have proper cold storages. We don't have processing units. Why? Because they are not sure if the government will allow this to happen permanently. Suppose somebody puts a big cold storage for onion and with a capacity of 10,000 tons or so, and if the prices go high and the government says that the stock limit is only 10 tons, then what will he do with his onion? He will have to just throw it away or sell it at a throwaway price. So because of this situation, investors are not coming to farming sector.
Okay. So you're saying that obviously there needs to be an agricultural policy, a long-term policy. You've also invited the farmers. You're saying that you would help negotiate between them and the government and help to get everyone on the same platform. I don't think, Mr. Ghanwat, that even the farmers are opposed to reform. The only thing is that the consultation process, many of these farm union leaders are saying, should have taken place before the formulation and the passing of any new law and not after. Let's now talk about and ask that the question that I asked initially once again. What is your view on the laws itself being repealed?
This is a very unfortunate decision for the farmers of the country and the country as a whole, because the system which existed for so long in this company, which is existing now too, had compelled the farmers to commit suicides. More than 4.5 lakh farmers have committed suicide in last 5 years. And the reason is that there is no market freedom, there is no technology freedom for the farmers, and there are laws like Essential Commodity Act, which give the power to the government to pull down the rates of farmers whenever they are getting better prices and they are in a position to earn some profit. If the farmer is not allowed to earn profit, how will he repaying his loans? He is not able to repaying his loans because he is not working in his field or he has no knowledge of agriculture. It is because of the government's decision to pull down the rates by implementing stock limits, by imposing export bans. Interstate trade is also not allowed sometimes. So these are the reasons government is intervening in the agriculture market, and that the results is that the farmers are going debt-ridden and they are committing suicide.
Okay. Let's just see if there is a consensus, and I like the point that you made of getting all parties to talk and for them to formulate a new policy, because I think it's nobody's case that the agricultural sector does not need reforms. In fact, farmers themselves want reform. Thank you very much for joining us. That's a wrap in this edition of Trending Tonight. News continues on the other side.